Thank
over
you.
here.
Thank you. You know, it's nice when they play a long intro song so people have to stand up and cheer a little bit longer. It is great to be here, and I'll tell you, like I told my dad many, many times, even though he never believed me, but the bourbon cooks out of the pie. And so if you are enjoying that for lunch today, don't be afraid that you won't be able to go back to work and that there will be any kind of problem. You can also rest assured I did not make any of those pies today, but the team here did, and we're so thankful for the hard work that they have put into making this event special and adding a little bit of an Arkansas touch to it. It's great to be back for the 52nd Annual Governor's Conference on Tourism. I guess when you're the governor and they put your name in front of the conference, you probably should show up. But it's not one of those things I feel like I have to do, but it's something I always look forward to because this is such an incredible and special industry and something that is really driving a lot of the success story for our state. And I want to give a special thank you to all of our conference organizers and especially our Secretary of Parks, Heritage, and Tourism, Shay Lewis, for the great introduction and the incredible work that you and your team are doing to help lead our state and set record-breaking highs month after month. So if we could have Secretary Lewis and all of our staff and team from Parks, Heritage, and Tourism stand up and be recognized for your great work. I tell people all the time that I get to work with the best staff and cabinet of any governor anywhere in the country. And the team that just stood, as well as several of our cabinet secretaries who are sitting up here at the front and staff that are scattered around the room, I say that even when they're not sitting here. And the best part is the data doesn't lie. Arkansas continues to do well in every single category because of the great team that is putting so much time and effort into seeing our state succeed. And so I'm incredibly thankful that I get to serve alongside this great group of public servants. I also want to say thank you to all of the attendees who have traveled from every corner of Arkansas for your work to make sure that the natural state is the best place in America to live, to work, to raise a family, and to visit. And we hope that people will continue, as they have been doing over the last several years, taking notice of what a great state Arkansas is to visit. It's hard to believe that this is my fourth time speaking at this event. We've held it in El Dorado, Jonesboro, Bentonville, and now our capital city. And I want to take a moment to reflect on all that we've accomplished since the first conference I attended back in 2023. And to help get everyone excited about the great things that are ahead. Last year, I had the chance to host a Capital for a Day event in Morrilton, Arkansas. For those of you from communities who we haven't yet visited and held a Capital for a Day, I want to explain what it is. It's a day where we declare that town somewhere in Arkansas as the ceremonial capital for a day. And I bring in members of my administration, the entire cabinet, to hear from that community directly about all of the great things that are taking place, and more often than not, a lot of the challenges that they are facing so that we can help right there on the spot. And it's been incredible to see those types of conversations and the things that we've learned and been able to experience. And Morrilton was an especially fun event. You know, it's amazing as governor what people will let you do when you come to visit their town. I'm amazed at the type of machinery, people that will turn the keys over and let me drive. I've had the chance to drive hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of equipment, whether it's a tree trimming truck or a cotton gin or even blow up beaver dams with dynamite. It's incredible the things that they'll give you access to when you're the governor of the state. But one of the stops that we were on was in Morrilton, and one of the reasons that I was so excited was because we were going to visit Petit Jean State Park and see the work that was underway there to keep Arkansas's first state park one of our state's best. We started in Mather Lodge, the only lodge in our state that was built by President Roosevelt's Civilian Conservation Corps back in the 1930s. And it has all of the features that you would expect from a nearly 100-year-old building. Beautiful log beams, big stone fireplaces, and an unparalleled view across Cedar Creek Canyon. But I know because all of you work in the tourism industry, no matter how many times people tell you that they love the rustic charm of a lodge built in the 1930s, they don't actually want the amenities from 100 years ago. And that's why our Parks Department is undergoing a massive renovation of the facility that I had the opportunity to tour that day. And when it's finished, I believe it will offer some of the best lodging in our entire state. The brand new fixtures, furnishing, and finishes, while still maintaining the historic charm for which the building is known. After seeing Mather Lodge, we headed down into the canyons to tour the equally exciting opportunities that are unfolding there. I know a lot of climbers have been illegally scaling Petit Jean sandstone without permits since the 80s. And for those of you here in the room that have been doing that, it's okay. I'm pretty sure the statute of limitations has run out. But now the park is going to be home to 32 properly bolted routes, along with more than 150 bouldering opportunities, offering safe, world-class climbing, just a short drive from some of our state's largest cities. And even though Petit Jean will have a Via Ferrata route offering a less terrifying experience for beginners, I won't say like myself because I'm not a beginner because I won't ever be rock climbing. But you'll find me on a hiking trail or sitting next to one of those great big fireplaces. But what I love is that our state parks offer a little bit of something for everybody. In fact, you can find that at many places around our state. Whether you're in for adventure or you want more of the luxury amenities, there's a little bit of something all over Arkansas for every single person. And it's why I think our state's tourism industry has been so incredibly successful. The result of a lot of this work is exactly what Brian and I had in mind when we started the Natural State Initiative at the beginning of my administration. Leveraging the assets we already have to enhance experiences and make Arkansas a truly world-class, first top-of-mind destination. Those investments have already paid off. In the last year for which we have data, more than 52 million visitors came to our state, a new state record. And while those visitors were here, they spent $10.3 billion last year, another state record. Amendment 75 revenue has risen by more than 10% annually every year since I took office, pouring more money into our park system. And as a result, the 2% tourism tax revenues continue to rise month after month. And that rising tide has allowed us to invest in areas that we haven't previously targeted, like building the outdoor recreation workforce of the future. Working with our good friend here, Doug Schoenrock at Arkansas Game and Fish, we were able to launch the outdoor education pilot program in schools across the state, working with the Department of Education. We now have 58 schools that are participating, and recruiters are aiming at getting that number to more than 150 by just the next school year. In the first 2 weeks, we already had 10 new schools commit to be part of that program. In Mena and in Bella Vista, planning is underway to build Arkansas's first ever lift access downhill mountain bike park, thanks to Act 155 that I signed last year. That's also something else that you won't see me coming down, but I'm happy to ride the lift up and have a glass of wine and maybe a slice of pie waiting for you when you finish. The Delta Heritage Trails are on a pathway to be completed by the end of 2026. And at the end of last year, I had the honor of joining the U.S. Forest Service to announce Arkansas's newest state park, Blanchard Springs Caverns. something we are extremely excited about. All those changes show up in our record-breaking tourism numbers and at ribbon cuttings around the state. But what has been really special to see is to watch our own family embrace the great outdoors and the state that we're lucky enough to call home. Both of our boys, Huck and George, killed their first buck this year. They're actually becoming quite the duck hunting duo as well. It's not good when your 2-year-old becomes a better shot than you. George is learning to call ducks and Huck gets to shoot them. And that's great when you're a duck blind. It's a lot less exciting when your 10-year-old is calling ducks on a regular at about 11 p.m. at night. I recently collected all of the duck calls from his room and have them in a safe space for daytime activity instead. But after football, there's nothing our boys love more than hunting and fishing and enjoying the outdoors. And not long ago, Brian had the chance to take our son George duck hunting this season. They were driving out to a duck lodge near the Del Bumpers National Wildlife Refuge. And because George had participated in a Christmas program at school that evening, it was pretty late when they headed out. On the drive, they were listening to music and had the sunroof open, and George was staring up through it, looking at the stars. And at one point, he turned to Brian and he said, "It should be a rule that you never live somewhere where you can't see the stars." As they were driving home the next morning, after a successful hunt, I might add, George said that he planned to live in the Delta when he was older. He said, "I don't know why you wouldn't. It has everything you need. You can farm, you can hunt, and you can fish. Most importantly, Dad, you can see the stars." Here in Little Rock, sometimes it's easy to get lost in the noise and the business of our lives. But for a 10-year-old boy, it really is that simple. Always live somewhere you can see the stars. I'm blessed to live in a state where that's still possible, and I'm forever grateful to the men and women who preserve and protect the great outdoors for my kids and for everyone else's. So thank you for the great work that each and every one of you do to protect our state, to preserve our state, and to make sure that each and every person in all of the generations that come behind us get to enjoy it. I'm so thankful and so proud to be the governor of the best state in the country. Thank you for the work that you do, giving me an easy job to tell our success story. Thanks so much, and congratulations on record-breaking year. Thank you.